Hey everybody, and welcome back to Farmboy's Garage, and we're back to working on this 2006 Ford Taurus. Day 2. I've already reinstalled the condenser. It's not too bad as long as you get your bottom bolt started on the driver's side. Make sure you're in the upper hole, because the bottom hole is for the bracket for that power steering tube that runs across the bottom. Once you get it up there and get it halfway leveled out, you can come up here and put these upper bolts in, and then you can go ahead and finish hooking up your bottom. It wasn't too bad. Didn't need any help once I got it in, and I like this condenser better than the factory one because it's kind of metal solid all the way versus the factory one, which was open core. Well, this one's got a plate across the bottom, so you ain't gonna be worried about cutting yourself on those fins. So that's in. There's 4 bolts that holds the AC compressor in. You can get to all 4 from up here and work the compressor down and up under and around here and out through here. And it's pretty small compressor on these. There is one bolt that you'll have to leave in, and that's this one, the one on top closest to the pulley. There's no room to pull it all the way out. The rest of them will come out. Don't forget the little bracket goes on this bottom front one, and of course this bracket that the wiring loom attaches to right here. Pretty dirty. The new one, I believe, is in this box that it's sitting on. I'm not going to install it right now because the next thing we're going to do is get the alternator off, which is basically this bolt, this bracket right here. Take that off, and that alternator should pop out. It is a little compression fit right here. You can take something and kind of compress it back in, and I would recommend taking a pair of pliers once you get the alternator out and pushing that little bushing in a little bit. Make it a little easier to install. There's a plug here. Basically just push in and pull up like that. Push that little tab in right there. And then there is a terminal here. We'll have to undo this yellow wire. It's like a 10mm. And that's going to come out. And I'm going to go ahead, and since I'm going to this much trouble, I'm going to go ahead and replace the water pump. So once I get this off, I'm going to go ahead and take this dog bone off right here. It's unbolted right there. Then I'm going to work on getting this power steering pump off. Now it's got a couple of hidden bolts that are kind of very, very hard to get to. Don't worry about these. These you leave in. You will take this whole bracket off. You can only get access these with this pulley off, so you'll have to have a pulley removal and install tool. But to get this bracket off, you can see that one's really easy to get to, but there's some more down there that's not. And I believe you will have to take the tensioner off to access that other bolt that's down there. I'm pretty sure I did. And that's a big Taurus headed bolt on that tensioner. And I think I also pulled this idler pulley off just to give room to get that tensioner out. Also, I'm going to go ahead and pull this line here out. Once I get some of this stuff out of the way, it's just like this line was. Basically it's just compression fit with a clip on it. It's just very hard to see. Goes in right there, and you can see the clip maybe. Just pull that clip off and pull that out, and you remove this whole accumulator. Windy out here today, so I'm not going to try to film it. It's just I don't want all this wind noise. So I'll bring you back as I find stuff that you might need to know to get this stuff off. Alright, the tensioner uses a T50 Torx head. Right there. And it's just a regular counterclockwise to loosen it. But once you get the tensioner out, right in this area where I'm pointing, there's a bolt here. There's also a nut and stud here. There's a stud here and you will have issues pulling this off the studs. Also, we'll need to remove this bracket right here that the dog bone's attached to. It's one bolt down there. I believe that is all that I can see. We'll get that out of the way. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to take it off right here and remove that bracket to be able to pull this forward. Alright everybody, sorry for any wind noise. It is a little breeze out here, but I've got everything. I got three, two of them studs, but one of them's pretty short, and then one bolt undone, and we can pull it out. Got to get one of these studs out. So I've already had this top stud out, so this is just finger tight, thank God. It'll take you 2 nuts, and you'll have 2 nuts when you take the nuts off of both studs and put them on this top stud and get it out of there. That way when you pull it around, you can just kind of work it past the water pump, and you may have to kind of bend this pipe over just a little bit, but that's how you get it out. That bottom stud's going to stay in, and the top stud comes out. And now we've got pretty easy access to this water pump. This is the time to do the water pump when you got everything off. This pump's probably original, and she said it was losing antifreeze, so I'm betting you this pump seal's gone in it. So it don't look like nothing but a bunch of bolts around it. Got a bracket here we're going to take off. Got a hose right here, heater hose we're going to take off. There's a plug going to the crank sensor. We've got to unplug it, get it out of the way, and we'll probably go ahead and pull this pulley. I don't know, there should be enough. I believe we can get it off without pulling that pulley. Alright everybody, I got the water pump reinstalled. There is a sequence to go by. I'll throw this up on the screen, but basically you're going to start over here on the firewall side at the bottom and get the big ones all the way around, and you're going to tighten them up to 18 foot-pounds, and then you're going to start let's see, at number 8, which will be the bottom 8mm headed bolt, and kind of go around and tighten those up to 89 inch-pounds or 10 Newton meters. Basically I had to use Newton meters, so it's 25 Newton meters or 10 Newton meters, and just go around and you know, basically you're going to start one side and work your way across. So it's on there, it spins, so it ain't hitting. You do have to take the pulley off to get it out. Well, you don't, but the book recommends you do. I don't think you do, but it does add a little bit of, not much room, not much space there. I mean, I think you can pretty much get it off without pulling this pulley, but I went ahead and pulled it and got it off because the book said to. So I think now we're ready to go ahead and we'll hook up the crank sensor. Now I never figured out how to undo this crank sensor, but you see this tab right here, you just push that in. So when you're down there, you push that tab in there and you'll hear it click, and then you can pull out. So we'll go ahead and set that back in there. And hear it click in, and that little thing here goes on that. And then our heater hose, thankfully I had one of the tools that you can work around the inside of the heater hose and get it loose, because it was pretty much stuck, and just work that tool around inside there and it'll get it free. So this is the tool I'm talking about. So you stick that in there and kind of work it around and loosen it up off that, and it'll come free. I thought I was going to have to cut it and replace it, but hopefully I won't. So other than having to clean that old gasket off, not too bad a job. That gasket was pretty rough to get off. I went through several cheap Chinese razor blades, kept breaking them. So I think that's going to do it for today, y'all. Tomorrow I'll get in here and I'll reinstall a new power steering pump, put the bracket back on, hopefully we'll have time. We'll go ahead and get the AC compressor on and get it hooked up. Fill up everything, get everything back, and we'll go from there. So till then, thanks for watching, and please rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't.